Howdy, Possum Patty and the Soggy Bottom Bunch here. They're sort of taking over the whole room, aren't they? Yes. We've got flowers and balloons and all kinds of celebrations going on. St. Patrick's Day and spring. And what am I doing? No, I'm not journaling, but I am going through my trashy flow journal. Yes. I stash my trash in here, and then I look through here and pull out little bits to put in my journals. That's why we call it a flow journal. It flows from this journal into other journals. Except today it's going to flow into the mail. Yes. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and we're going to the post office. And during my live this week and during my live last week, I have 2 winners that I need to send things out to. And have I gotten them into an envelope yet? No. Possum Patty always waits till the last minute. But you know what? I get very creative at the last minute. Yes, I do. Anyway, I knew there were some envelopes in here. And I knew I didn't have an envelope this size for this tall daffodil. And this is going to Kelly, yes. But I do have some envelopes that let's see. I think I was gel plate printing and I was cleaning the brayer off on these, or I was actually gel plate printing on them. And I knew I had some tall ones in here. So, ta-da! Possum perfect. Just the right size for the daffodil. So that's going to be one envelope. And, I pulled this out. And this is a bit of this was a larger picture I printed out on cardstock, and I trimmed it down to fit into one of my journals, but beautiful flowers on here. And I was thinking, yes, I would use this to cover up that window because these were junk mail envelopes. This one's from Bed Bath & Beyond. And I'm going to put that there. And then I cut a piece with the address to put on one side. And let's see. Oh, and I had this envelope. This is from a birthday card. And I thought I would use this one. There's a sticker on here. What am I going to do with that? I don't know. I'm going to recycle this into a envelope for the possum tag. Pull out a piece of painty paper. This is a page from a book about seeds. And I thought that was really pretty. And I might put that on the envelope. I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I'm just going to decorate some envelopes. Yes. I'm going to decorate some envelopes for Happy Mail. And then I'll feel good because I'll have them ready to go in the morning. We leave pretty early. Yes, we leave pretty early on Tuesday mornings because I have piano lesson early in the morning. I have too many things on the floor. But I'll put those away when I'm done with the envelopes. Yes, I want to get this done. And my journal is still here. Yes, I'm working on finishing this up. Yes, I am. So let's see. I'm not sure how far I'll get today. So we'll just call it a SESH. Yes, a creative SESH. Come on along. Okay, I'm going to take a few seconds to prep these envelopes. And I want to put this on here. So I need to trim it. Get my handy dandy slicer dicer out. I love to send out mail, but I am terrible about sending out mail. Oh, there's so many things I want to send to so many folks, and I'm just really bad at it. Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little glue stick, but then I'm going to cover everything with this packaging tape. Yes. Just to make sure it doesn't come off in the mail. And I'll probably put that over the addresses too. but I won't show you that part. So I'm just going to do the fun part, and then I'll put the addresses on, and then I'll start another project. I just want to get this done. I know this is cardstock. Cardstock tends to curl up a little bit. And I'm going to put the address on this side. All right, try to do this somewhat neatly. I always wrinkle the tape, yes. I think I'll pack the daffodil in there and then tape that side, yeah. That would be a smart thing to do. Okay. So the daffodil itself is here. And this is pretty stiff watercolor paper. So it should be fine in the envelope. Some folks send out beautifully decorated envelopes. I don't always do that. Sometimes I draw on them, or I paint on them, or I stamp on them. But what I need to do is, like when I'm gel plate printing, is color some more of them. And I just thought about the idea of repurposing birthday card envelopes. They're always so colorful. And this is, my sister gave this to me. Too bad I did that on there, but that's okay. I'll cover that up with something. And yeah, it just has your name on it, right? And you can cover that up. Of course, sometimes I use those on like a journal page. So it wasn't going to go to waste anyway, but oh, I've gotten envelopes that have been like completely doodled on. Oh, gorgeous artwork on the envelope. But I just don't think about those things ahead of time. I should though, right? But that's pretty. And I've got the daffodil inside there. I put the address on the other side. Just need a stamp. It'll be all set to go. And I'm working on the possum tag, but I'm thinking this might need a little bit of protection inside there. Put some cardstock or something around it. I could use this paper or this paper. Oh, so I'm flipping through all this stuff over here. Stuff just needs to get put away. And remember I was telling you about envelopes that are doodled on? Look what I just found. Yes. Somebody completely covered this in doodles. Yes. And colored them in. Isn't this gorgeous? That's got to go in a journal. And yeah, I cut off the name from the other side, so I'd have to look up and see who this was from. But I'm going to cover my address. Look at the other side is all flowers. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. What am I doing here? Okay, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is just cut some paper to put inside the envelope. Give that tag a little bit of protection. So that goes under the table in that bucket. And where's the tag? There's the tag. Put the tag in there to Angela. Let's see, I might put some tape on this. Well, you know, sometimes the post office doesn't like it when I bring in something that has just a little bit of a bump in it. Because they're like, oh, well, now that has to get hand stamped. And I'm like, okay, is that a problem? I guess sometimes the machines do a lot of work for the carriers, and sometimes, yeah, not so much. Let's see. I'm going to put the address, I think, on this side. I could put the address on that side still. Yeah, see, that's just a little bit of a lump there. I used the flat beads. I did. I used the flat beads. Snail mail. I'm going to trim this up. I still have this I can use in a journal. And that bee's got to get cut off. But maybe I can use it on something else. Actually, that looks like a wasp, doesn't it? Yes. All right, that should be good for that side. Or should I put one more piece across there? One more piece. Okay, now that is completely covered. I would like to see that in my mailbox. That's pretty. Okay, now the address is going to go on this side. Let's see, it's this big. I don't think I need anything else on this side, no. I think I'll just put the address there, and this will be ready to go. Okay, now I'm going to go put stamps on these and put them by the door so they'll be ready to go. Okay, I'm back. Now what? I'm working on finishing this journal. Where can I put this? Where can I put this? I took it out because I wanted to put it somewhere. I'm cutting off my address. I just might put it right there. I think even though this is an envelope, got some tape on it and stuff, I think it'll be okay. I know it's got the split in the middle, but I'll be journaling on it. I'll be putting something on it anyway. I'm just going to use it to cover that page. Which way do I want to put it? Definitely that way. Oh, I see. I need something on this side. I think I'm going to cut this off. I think I cut it too close. I cut it too close because I wanted to glue this part down like that. And then, oh, and someone made this. And I could put this here on the other side of this. And it's almost possum perfect, yes. Almost possum perfect. I'm going to glue this down. Now I know this is a masterboard and you can cut it up and make all kinds of different things with it, but I'm just using the whole thing as a background. So this was gifted to me and this was sent to me, yes. And that's why I wanted to include them in this journal today. There's like sparkly glue all over this. And I wanted to color it in. Yes, I wanted to use this to journal about a series that we watched called Lock and Keys. I think that was a Netflix series. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I was like, what a perfect page for that. I'm going to cut this part down. And I want to paint this before I glue it back down. Could have used this. This I made with kids markers, washable kids markers. That was a lot of fun. I just love to play. All right, making room, making room. Oop, where's the lid to my glue? Oh, I forgot about my wasp. He might go good on this page though, right? So I'm just gonna clip him there so he doesn't get lost. And I'm gonna get out my Faber-Castell watercolor pencils. I took these out yesterday. At the beginning of yesterday's video, at the intro, I carried these over to the table, but I never got around to them, so that's okay. 24 watercolor pencils. And they're watercolor pencils, so I'm going to need some water. Do I have water on the table? Do I have water on the table? Where's my water? Oh, here's some water. And a brush. And a brush, a little brush maybe. Maybe just a little brush. I don't need my glue. Oh, I haven't cleaned my water. So I was just going to make some colorful keys. But now maybe I should go with this color scheme, which is blues, pinks, purples, yellows, greens. Okay, blues, pinks, yellow, purples, green. So let's start with purple. These are German watercolor pencils. I'm looking for a name. They don't have a name. They have a number. This is 137. And there's many, many, many different ways to use your watercolor pencils. One way is just to color and then wet them. And I got all kinds of lumpy, sparkly glue that I have to color on top of here. And let's see. 143. And so I'm just going to add the color. Ooh, should I put something in the background? You can paint the whole page, right? And then just move them around with your brush. Feels like there's glue on this brush. Oh, maybe it's picking up the glue from the page. Now, should I be neat about this or just do a loose watercolor? Like that. That's the way some people do it. Some folks will actually make a little palette to the side of what they're doing and pick up the color and do this. Some folks will take the pencil, dip it in the water like that, and do this. I like to do this method with my Inktense pencils, which are like watercolor pencils, but instead of having watercolor, they have ink in them. Lots of pigment, lots of pigment. Need a pink. Get it wet. Soften it up a little bit. Point still wet. And there's the mourning dove singing her song. Put some yellow in here. If I go like this, you can see all those lumps in there. That's that glitter glue. And this is not watercolor paper. So the water's going right through to the other side. Just there's no sizing on here. I have to be careful where the paper's wet. I don't want to rip the paper. Watercolor pencils are perfect for when you're doing urban sketching or nature journaling, because you just need to grab a couple of these pencils and a water brush like this, and a paper towel, and you're on the go. You don't need to bring a whole bucket of water. No, you can just use your water brush and make a blue one. I say purples, blues, pinks, maybe a little light green. And then the water's in the barrel of the brush. There's not much in there. I'm gonna fill it up. Like this. And you just wipe it and that cleans it. Perfect for on the go. To fill it up, you just pull this off. Stick this in some water, you squeeze it and let go, and it sucks the water in. I'm not going to fill it with that dirty water though. I don't want to get all that inside that brush. And if it's not enough color, you can come back and add a second layer when it's dry. Do some more pink. I want to get the keys a little darker, but a little bit of light color in the background. And you don't have to stay in the lines, no. Not important. I'm going to be journaling right on top of this. Well, in between the keys. That's why I want it in between to be a little bit lighter. Just some darker colors on the keys. Like I'm going to make that a darker blue for sure. This one's pretty good. And that one is. This one's okay. Maybe, do I have a light green? Let's see. Get a little green in there. Yeah, nice light green. This one's real fancy. Yeah, so this actually goes along with what I was saying yesterday about things to journal about, yes. And I was like, oh, are you watching TV or reading a book? And this was a series we watched on Netflix. And I'm going to make a quick note about it. And I should do this more often. I'm going to put some wet pencil on here. Give this one a little more color. I got to be careful. It's getting really wet over there. I don't want the paper to rip. I'm actually going to let the colors kind of run around it like that a little bit. Put a little more pink on the pink. I'm just having a play. Just having a play here. Ew, so much glue on here. I hope I'm going to be able to write over all this glue. Put some more of this on, kind of like an Indian yellow. And let's see. Let's put a purple one down here. And let's put a purple one over here. Maybe this one. And this one, maybe blue. This is the light blue. And we'll do one more light blue over here. Paper's really soaked there. I want to get this as wet as I can and then let it dry and come back and do some more. But get as much on this first layer as I can. Well, a lot accomplished during this sesh. Got those 2 envelopes ready to go to the post office in the morning for Kelly and for Angela. I'm so glad I got that done. I've got 2 backgrounds ready to go. Both of them from Happy Mail, all hand-drawn flowers on that one. And a masterboard that was made, yes. And I got 1 layer of watercolor pencil on my little key paper here. I'm going to let it dry and maybe add a little bit more color. I'm going to glue it down. And I'm going to, looks pretty good, doesn't it? And I'm going to do my journaling in between the keys. Hopefully I can write on top of that glitter glue. Okay, so I still have a whole pile of stuff here. Some of the stuff just needs to get put away, and some of it needs to go into journals. Oh, what's this? Oh, another envelope. Another envelope that came in Happy Mail. Oh, this one has Stanley on it. I think this was from Lala. Lala, did you send me this? Ladybug Lala. This has got to go in Stanley's journal. Yes, things that just have to go in journals. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming along today, and I hope you have a creative sesh too. Happy junk journaling. Bye-bye. Spiritual Literacy, Reading the Sacred in Everyday Life by Frederick and Marianne Broussette. Often the most fulfilling acts of service are the ones that grow naturally out of our God-given talents, interests, and skills. We may need to think about service in a completely new way if we are to find an opportunity to do something we love. Our first thought may be to use our most expert skill, the thing we do best in our daily work, such as repairing cars, massaging aching bodies, practicing civil rights law, or negotiating international peace. But sometimes we need to look at our other talents and skills. We often think of these as hobbies, as Jimmy and Rosalind Carter probably did, having put in a tongue-and-groove floor in their attic in Plains. But these activities may be just what we need to perform truly effective service. Maybe we can heal the world through arranging flowers, writing poetry, or baking bread in a shelter. Why not? The serious methods that have been tried, from the war on poverty to the war in the Gulf, haven't ended the pain. Often they seem to have created more. We need to free our minds if we are to find new paths through the dark forest of suffering. We need experimentation and playfulness in the face of difficulty, no matter how paradoxical that may seem. As Tibetan Buddhist teacher Tarthang Tulku says, we already know how to enjoy ourselves. When we are enjoying ourselves, we are productive and creative. It's just a matter of bringing that enjoyment into everything we do. Ram Dass and Mirabai Bush in Compassion in Action.